so much nicer than being in a man-made steel, concrete, electrical city. This is it. This is nature. This is how to live, man. Ah! 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 Sometimes I find mice in here. Sometimes I can find big mice. When I'm real hungry, I go after the mice. Only when I'm real hungry, though. They're kind of a last resort. Oh, it's pretty muddy here. It does get lonely up here, but it is kind of nice to talk to somebody. You seem like a nice guy, so. This pond, actually there's a second pond up there that feeds this one. This one drains out here and down over there and has little branches that go off there too, but mainly the water comes from the mountain clear up there. I'll show you if you want. I may have fished it out. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little worried. I don't know what I'm gonna do for food. That was my main source of food, was a lot of these fish. Yeah. I used to actually take pictures when I lived back in town. I was somewhat of a photographer, believe it or not. Now I'll stop though. I just recently acquired quite a fortunate find here. A lighter. You believe that? Campers up here, they come and camp around here. They left a lighter. Idiots. I'd kill for one of these. I have a stockpile of matches. Keep over there. They're kind of wet though. Let's get this going over here a little bit. Nice little fire. Can't live without a fire. This is what I caught actually this afternoon. It is our catch of the day. Some days I don't catch anything, but caught this one guy today. Just gonna heat him up a little bit.
What kind of fish is that?
What kind of fish is this? This particular fish, I don't know if it's a minnow or it's a minnow, I think. Anyway, we're gonna eat them. Just heat them up for a little while, as long as it takes. Doesn't take too long. My little stick here is a little short. Usually don't make short sticks. Yep, I think he's done. Eat them. Good dinner.
Do you eat the heads?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Why wait? I don't like the tail so much, but... Oh, silly. That's really all I need, is the fish and some nuts. My diet really is a lot of fish.
So what? What are you going to do when you run out of fish?
I'll have to move. Move like the Indians did. Run out of resources, move on. Well, plenty of firewood. Plenty to keep nice and warm. It's good to have wood for the fire and good to have a nice warm jacket. Wouldn't know what to do without this jacket. Kind of suffer a little bit.
So why are you out here?
Well, the reason why I'm up here, I enjoy being up here. So, maybe it's as simple as that. I just enjoy it. I enjoy it much more than going to work and paying bills, and not a very social person either, so there's kind of a reason. But mainly, I enjoy being out here. I enjoy it tremendously.
So what happened in high school for you? What was high school like?
High school High school. Now that's a time I would love to erase from my memory bank. A little bit of a sore subject. I didn't like high school one bit. As much as I could, I would avoid it. None of the teachers really liked me, and I had some friends for a time. For a time, I had friends.
Until when?
I had friends until one particularly fateful evening. I was invited over. We played some board games at my friend's house. Probably 5 or 6 of us there. We were sleeping in our little sleeping bags, and in fact, maybe this is probably the same sleeping bag. And it turns out I was woken up by somebody passing gas on my face. One of my good buddies, the guy that in fact invited me over, Frank or something, been a while. Frank was passing gas on my face. Next thing I know, one of the other guys is pulling me by my feet around the living room floor in my sleeping bag. I was very much helpless in this situation because basically I have 5 so-called friends pulling me around in my sleeping bag, poking fun at me. I don't know, I think a lot of, so I ended up calling my mom as soon as I could, so she ran on over, picked me up, and took me home, and from that point on, I had no more friends to speak of, really.
Do you want friends anymore?
I absolutely have no need or any desire for friends. Friends will just turn on you when you least expect it. That's my experience. That is what I believe. Friends will turn on you quicker than you least expected. They will turn on you. Maybe they were never my friends. Maybe I never had a friend. Except my brother, Nick. Go find some wood. I sure like your tent. That's a neat tent.
Thank you. So where do you get wood?
All over. Where are those ants? Ants are around here somewhere. Little guys are my friends. I love these guys. Look at them. So many of them. Look at them all.
You ever eat them?
No. Get out of there! I know you can hear me out there.
So who were you yelling at?
That beaver out there. Why am I yelling at that beaver out there? That beaver out there stole my can opener. He's had it for a long time. I know you can hear me. One of these days I'm gonna come and get that back from you. I know you got it. Listen to that. Listen. Hunter's up here right now. I can hear the 4-wheeler. He's got my can opener. Only can opener I got. I'm not using it right now, but he sure isn't gonna use it. You think beavers use can openers? I don't think so. They have no use for can openers. For no reason. He just up and crawled in my camp and grabbed it and run off. I sure couldn't go in the water after him. I can't swim. I can't swim to save my life. You know what he does? Now and then, he'll take the can opener and just lay it out on display for me to see. And I can hear him snickering back there. He's just mocking me. Little criminal. I'll get him one of these days. Just you watch. I'll get him. I'll get him good. I'll put together a little raft so I can go out there. I'll hack him up. I'll hack him up with my axe. I'll get him. Just you watch. Then I'll eat him. I'll even eat the little bugger. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I'm gonna eat him. I'm gonna eat you! One of these days that you watch. I know where you live. I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna hack you up and then I'm gonna eat you for dinner. I think I will get some wood from that tree up there that I hit by lightning a little while ago. You see it up there? It's quite a bang when it hit. Loud, like an explosion. Boom! Now there's a dead one I can start hacking on pretty soon right there. Isn't it pretty up here? That's why I live up here. It's beautiful. You coming? Hi ho, hi ho! Look at this.
What is it?
It's like a watch. How long that's been there? Hikers probably lost it. It's kind of nice. You want it? I don't need it.
I already have one.
You can take it back to town with you and you can sell it or something. You know? Okay. Water. Axe, just a little dull. Looks like the head's gonna fall off. Little trick I learned. When your axe head's gonna fall off, soak it in some water. The wood will expand the wood, and the head won't fall off. That's what I gotta do. Just go soak this part of the axe in the water. A little break. That's good to me. Well, what do you say we carry that wood down? I can carry it. Let's get that wood down there. And we'll get it done. That's amazing. My birthday one year, I asked my dad for a little bike when I was about 5, and I was telling him, you know, if you can't find a red bike, then find a blue one. If you can't find a blue one, next best thing would be a green one. If you can't find a green one, then I don't remember the colors after that, but he got me a bike for my birthday that year, and neat little bike. Had the American flag painted on it. Then one day I left it out in the middle of the road there in the street. Steamroller ran over it. I had no more bike. Kind of sucked. I haven't said that word in a long time. Sucked. Brings back memories. It was, you know, flat. The flag was laying there, just perfect, just pristine flag. The colors and the stripes and the stars, they were just there. And when I was a little boy, you know, really small, I had the funny inclination to pledge allegiance to the flag right there and then. And I did. I pledged allegiance to the flag. Although my little heart was broken, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and the flag for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all. I got my liberty, that's for damn sure. I had a puppy too one time. You got run over by a steamroller too. And I would have liked to have seen that tree fall. That one up there that's just laying. Have you ever seen a tree fall?
No.
I'd like to see a tree fall. I'd say if the mountains were a lady, I'd make love to her. It's kind of silly, but if the mountains were a lady, I would make love to her. Because she is beautiful. She's always treated me right, and I try to do the same. I don't abuse her, I treat her with respect. It'd be quite something to make love to the mountains. You can imagine that.
Did you ever have a girlfriend?
I had a girlfriend at one time, right after high school. I was working at a little diner when I was about 18. She was a waitress. It was one of those old diners where the waitresses were on roller skates, like an old kind of diner. She was the only girl I ever was with. Didn't last too long. Being in love is a nice thing. Feels good. It made me feel wanted. I didn't have that feeling growing up so much, so being in love was nice. And one morning I woke up and she wasn't there. Left me a note saying it was over. Very unexpected. I was hurt. I was hurt for a long time. You want to go find some rocks to stack so we can see how many we can stack before they fall? Key is to get flat ones. Stack the best. That may seem kind of obvious to a lot of people, but it's the truth. Flat rocks stack best. My record is I think like 15 rocks. I don't really spend a lot of time doing this. I think that would be kind of crazy. What I got there, I got 7, so I'm only halfway there. I've walked past this type of vegetation before, but this time, really there was an epiphany. There was kind of an awakening within my soul, and it brought back a lot of, if you were to see what I see at this moment. My grandmother was a heavy smoker up until the day she died. In fact, I believe they found her with a cigarette in her hand. She would ask me to rub and caress her rather wrinkly face, and I would stroke it for her. She would have streams of tears of joy, and I remember that she loved me. She really loved me. I wonder if that Beaver would make a trade with me. Trade me this watch for that can opener. They're both shiny. I think that's what he likes about it, is that it's shiny. If a shiny wants, shiny he can get. Hey friend! Let's say you and I make a trade! I know you got my can opener, I can see it! I can see it there!
I don't see it.
But I got something here you may like! A shiny watch! What do you think of that? You want a shiny watch? Poke your little head out of that hole! Come on! Come on out! Come on out! Hey! You ignore me again. You're a rock. Hey! Come on out of there! Get out of there! I want my can opener back! I'm gonna kill that little... I wish the hell I could swim. I'd jump in that water and chop his little head off. Eat his little babies.
Why don't you throw another rock in there?
Good idea. Hey, you! Get out of there! Give me back my can opener! See what I gotta put up with? This particular hole belongs to a rodent. Probably a little mouse, field mouse. Let's see if we can catch him. See if we can get in there and get him. Kind of ruined his house now, but it's alright. If I catch him, he's gonna die anyway. Quickest way to kill him is to squeeze him to death. Careful, don't get any of that in your eyes. My sense of hearing has really become quite acute living out here. It's not really polluted by a lot of city sounds like TVs, radios, horns honking. But anyhow, if you look really closely when you're squeezing the life out of a mouse, you can hear the little guy screaming. He doesn't scream too long because you'll die pretty quick when you squeeze them, but they scream. About 6 years ago, I had this accident. I hurt my head. What happened was I was on a crew of workers that were working on top of this school building, about 3 stories high. We were tarring the roof, out there in the hot sun, stinky tar. And one of the co-workers, one of the guys that didn't particularly like me so much, guy that thought my ideas, my theories were kind of radical and far out, and he just poked fun at me at lunchtime, throw their sandwiches at me and stuff. But anyway, I was pushing the wheelbarrow around, and he was a little Mexican dude, Jose, I believe. He kind of a mean dude. He pushed me off the roof, and 3 stories I fell and landed on my head in that hard concrete. None of the co-workers came down and helped me. It was the kids that were out there. They called their teacher, and the teacher called the 911, and they ran out there and they took me to the emergency room. And I had a big crack in my skull for a while, and I was forced to wear this plastic helmet that they had to shave a lot of my hair on one side of my head, and I wore this blue helmet thing. And I'm okay now. Once in a while, I think I hear things. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, these kind of creatures that I guess maybe were descendants from apes, or maybe modern day apes are descendants from them. But regardless, they do exist. I believe I went up the side of this hill, top of the hill, where I saw something stooped over taking a dump, man. Hairy and stinky, tell you that. This thing stink. He saw me, picked me up, immediately tried to have his way with me. All I could do is scream and holler, and for some reason he let me go and he took off. But this is a true account. Look at that crap.
Any luck fishing today?
No, not today. I think the water's gone down. Used to be a good spot here. Try the other side, what do you say?
So, do you think you'll ever go back to the city?
Well, I've been back a handful of times over the years, and out of necessity, really, as far as food goes, supplies, things like that. But I feel I want to die up here in the mountains. I think it would be what I ultimately want to do. And I'm gonna build some sort of a structure that is off the ground. And the day I feel like it's my time, I'll just climb up onto it, lay down, and just pass away. It's hard to say when you're ready to die, but I think I'll know. So no, I don't plan on any time going back down there. It's a heck of a hike anyway. I got a theory about sheepdogs. The theory is this: it's fairly simple. When you do come across sheep, when you're out hiking or something, hey, they can hurt them for you. So you can have sheep, set them out to graze in the pasture, and you can just, you know, and some sheep.
So everyone needs a sheepdog?
Well, you know, why not?
Why don't you have one?
I've got somewhat of a ghost story to share with you. It's about a lady. She was driving her car on a country road, kind of a desolate road. She's driving an old beat-up car. Kind of all of a sudden, her car starts to sputter and dies. And so she pulls over to the side of the road, gets out, opens the hood, looks underneath. She's not a mechanic. She really doesn't know what to look for. She remembers a house that she'd driven by probably a half a mile, 3/4 miles back. Mansion, big house kind of thing. She heads down that way and she eventually gets to the house. And she knocks on the big doors that are there, real huge doors, probably like 8-9 feet tall. And this big tall guy opens the door, says, "May I help you?" And she explains her situation, and he kind of raises his hands towards her and says, "Do you know what these hands can do?" She goes, "No." Again, he says, "Do you know what these hands can do?" And this freaks her out. She turns around, heads down the hill, races back to her car, and this guy's on her heels. She reaches her car, opens the door, hops in, tries the ignition 1, 2, 3 times, can't get it started. She's looking in the rearview mirror, and this guy is heading down, barreling down behind her. He gets up to the car. She's freaking out. She's rolled all the windows up, locked the doors. Again, she's trying the key. This guy bangs on the window. "Do you know what these hands can do?" "No, I don't know." And again he says, "Do you know what these hands can do?" "No, I don't know, and I don't want to know." And the guy says, "These hands can fix your car." So he fixes her car and she goes home. That's about it.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, you know, I guess.
That was a good story. I was scared.
That's good.
How'd you sleep?
Cold. Very, very cold.
Where are you going to now?
Just kind of walk around, maybe warm up. I'm gonna grab my glove. Hunters.
Do you like the hunters?
No. No. You can tell how cold it got last night. Frost on the grass. Real cold. I know you got cold too.
Yeah, I was. You didn't have many blankets though.
Reminds me of a chilling story, actually. When I was still in town, I had a roommate. He was from Russia or Ukraine or something like that. Didn't speak a lot of English, so we never really got too close. But he was kind of a sickly guy, and I went away from town for about a couple weeks, and then I came back. And I smelled this really strange smell in the place we were staying at. The stench was really, really strong, and I knocked on his door and no answer, and I pushed against it and I noticed it was locked. I kind of put 2 and 2 together. The door's locked. It's a really strong smell. I was getting kind of worried, so I busted the door open, and there he was. He was dead. Just laying there dead.
What are you thinking about right now?
That Beaver. I wonder if he's considering my proposition. I wonder if he's taking it under serious consideration. Should be. No. Not too long ago, I was out on my morning walk. I was out looking for wood with my hatchet. Something kind of caught my attention, and it was up in the sky. Whatever it was really shiny. And when it caught my attention, it was almost directly above my head. strange is I didn't hear it coming. I hear aircraft all day long. I can hear them coming from miles away. They come overhead, they pass by. You hear them all the time. You hear them all the way, you know. This thing, I had not heard it coming. So directly above my head. Huge, huge thing. It was shaped like a triangle. Never seen anything like it. Kind of all of a sudden, like these lights shot on. They just turned on. All along the sides of it, these lights just turned on, flipped on. Right shortly after that, I heard like this real ultra high frequency. I couldn't barely take it. I had to cover my ears, and next thing I knew, I woke up. I woke up like over there. I woke up on the other side of this hill without my hatchet. My hatchet, I eventually came back and found it here. I can see the beaver breathing. I can see him breathing. He's breathing. Beaver. Air. Breath coming out of it. Damn. Beaver. Breathing. Sometimes in the early morning I can come out and find a little bit of dew like this. I'm thirsty. It's very fresh water. I can get a nice little drink. Shh. I hear something. He got away.
What was it?
Something. Oh, that's kind of cold.
Is it a rat? Or?
Yeah, probably. One way for me to really stay clear and focused and sharp is to do the kind of exercise with my knife where I gouge the tree. I'll demonstrate. So when the tree least suspects it, you gouge him. So like kind of like that, you know. You fool it, you know, dodge and whoa, like that, and kind of keeps you sharp, you know. I gotcha, bastard. How you like that? Huh? Talking to you, huh? You big brute. Kind of like that, you know. Oh, I lost my shoe.
Did you see the beaver?
To kind of give you an idea of how much it rained the other night, I want to show you what the water, where the water collected on my tarp. Probably like 4 gallons in there. 4 gallons of good water, rainwater, you know, the best kind of water. Look, I got my water right here. Easy as that. This tarp is good for more than one thing. Shelter, heck, I collect water too. Scoop these pine needles out. I'll just boil the water and I've got water for a couple days. You may notice a lot of impurities from the fire have gotten inside the water. This is not a real big concern. This is how we purify the water. This moose has probably been here for a couple weeks now. Maggots are sure going through it pretty quick. They're just eating him up, having a feast. Judging by the size of his hoof, Looks like he's about 2 years old. Even his fur is full of these little maggots. That's nature for you. Flies come in, lay their little eggs. Maggots do their work. Hungry? I've tried repeatedly to bargain with this beaver here. Offered him this real pretty watch, real shiny watch, just to get my can opener back. I don't think he'll negotiate one bit with me. I give up! Are you happy now? I bet you are. You just go on living your thieving life. And you know what? You can have this stinking watch too. You little bugger. Take it. I hope you're happy now. You caused me nothing but grief. I'm moving on. I'm a little tired of living around this little rascal.
So it's time to move camp?
I'm moving on. I've decided I'm moving on. The fishing's poor anymore. I'm tired of this thieving neighbor of mine. I'm moving on. But if I ever see you again, and if I can ever get to you, I'll have my way with you. Where are the matches? I know you're in this little box. Hey! I can't believe it! I can't believe this! Look what I found! I found my can opener! After all this time. After all this time. Well, I don't have any canned food, but it's nice to have it back.